Good morning, good day, good evening to all of you that have currently joined us on the forum on the second day of the All Atlantic Ocean Research Forum. And today we continue to recognize and have conversation about the All Atlantic Oceans research and innovations as we did yesterday. Of course, noting the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic, discussing the importance of collaborative efforts to establish, as the forum, solutions for the betterment of the communities and the citizens of the All Atlantic. My name is Tulile Kanyile. I am coming to you live from Johannesburg, South Africa. I am your moderator today, and I'm very excited to be facilitating this conversation. I am a PhD student and lecturer at the University of the Witwatersrand here in Joburg, South Africa, and I'm a speaker, and I love doing exactly this, moderating conversation that moves the world and moves people and contributes to policy. Yesterday, the lesson was, Sanbona, we see you, we recognize you. And today, I'm taking us all to the streets. And in the streets in South Africa, we greet in a variety of ways. And today, I want to say, Eita Ola. And that's how we greet in the streets of South Africa. If you're Portuguese or any other language that uses Ola as a greeting, we are together. Eita Ola to all of my speakers. Eita Ola to my audience here on the Zoom call, on Facebook, on YouTube. And as we're there, everybody that's on the social media platforms, remember to keep the conversation going as you did yesterday using the hashtag AtlanticAll. And to all of my Zoom attendees, please do post your questions on the Q&A or on the chat. I will try to get to as many of them as I can, but I'm not promising. So yesterday we heard encouraging openings from both the co-hosting DGs of South Africa, DG Mjwaha, and the European Commission, DG Bouquet. And we also heard from an inspiring grade 11, a high school learner who's doing incredible work, Joseph Duda, who's already started doing research and understanding the methodology of collecting data and using it for social good. We had an insightful keynote speaker yesterday by Professor Isaacs, highlighting the need for scientists to be very inclusive of the people and wear social scientist hats as much as they can. We heard from a panel discussing the various ways the ocean interfaces with society. We also heard the commitments made by the All Atlantic partners and witnessed the incredible Horizon 2020 All Atlantic projects, showcasing the research that they've done, human capital development that is taking place within their research, and really just the collaborative efforts of those projects was amazing to see. And for now, a welcome to you from South Africa with a video that depicts to all of you that are from that polar to this polar where we are at the bottom, that South Africans indeed are part of the global community. And Refilwe, with that, taking over to you with that South African video.
Whoever you are, wherever you are in the world, whatever drives you, at the core of it all, you are South African. Your story is our story. Your voice becomes ours. Your thoughts become our reality. When you strive to be your best, together we reach for the sky. So whatever spaces you move in, whichever people you meet, embrace the power you have to influence how the world sees us. Play your part. Join Global South Africans. Be part of a movement that helps South Africa compete on the global stage.
Thank Thank you very much for that, Refilwe. And I think from there, you sort of sense the love that South Africa has for the global community and also just the desire to be part of the global community and contribute as much as we can to the advancement of this community as South Africans and South African citizens in a global community. And as we did yesterday, we asked the questions at the beginning. How did we get here? How are we here today? Where did it all start? So the next video is going to answer those questions. Thanks, Refilwe. You can load that anchor video.
Whoever you are,
the ocean is key for us. Life would not exist without it. And yet,
Refilwe, we can't see the
are
video.
damaging it. Designing policies for ocean sustainability requires
Apologies for that technical glitch. We'll try again, Refilwe.
The ocean is key for us. Life would not exist without it. And yet, we are damaging it. Designing policies for ocean sustainability requires
Refilwe,
accurate observations and scientific information.
Okay, can you please come back to that today? Later on.
Okay, so we will continue and Refilwe will send me a signal when he's ready to play that video because I think it's very important to lay the foundation and set us up for the day. But today is a segment that will focus on some of the key activities that have already been initiated, as well as reflect on some of the actions that are needed across the various themes. These actions are meant to enhance the impact of the All Atlantic Ocean Research Alliance, but also towards its contribution to the UN Decade of Ocean Science for Sustainable Development. And I think with that, I'm going to move right along to our keynote address, who is ready and waiting with a big smile on his face, and I love it. Over to you, Dr. Hilmi, who is the IOC Vice Chair for Group 5 and Head of Oceanography Department, Institut National de Recherche Politique, Centre Regional de Casablanca. Thank you, over to you. Dr. Hilmi, you can unmute for us. Dr. Hilmi, we can see your mouth moving and we can't hear you. Refilwe, can we unmute Dr. Hilmi, please?
Is it okay now?
Perfect, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much to Lily for your introduction. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I would like first to thank the organizers from South Africa and the European Commission to invite me at this important forum. And on behalf of IOC teams, I present you the broad outlines of the UN Decades of Ocean Science for Sustainable Development for Africa. As you know, the global framework of the decade is to support efforts to reverse the cycle of decline in ocean health, create improved conditions for sustainable development, and to structure both scientific efforts at national and international levels to empower governments and society with science-based solutions and
Dr. Hilmi, you are muted again. Can you please unmute for us again? Thank you.
Is it okay now?
Perfect, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Sorry about that.
No problem, thank you. Sorry for that. And the preparation of implementation plan of the decade is so long. So its process is so far with the global planning meeting in May 2019 with more 200 participants, 11 regional planning workshop with a lot of attendees, including for Africa and Atlantic. Eco-performance working group created, 3 meetings of UN Ocean Contact Group, ocean literacy thematic meeting about ocean literacy with UN Agency Data Management, the ongoing engagement of Executive Planning Group, the virtual session to present the zero draft of implementation plan, the peer reviewed of this zero draft of implementation plan with lots of written submission, including 42 from UNESCO, IUC UNESCO member states. The review of this version 1.0 for implementation plan with the IUC UNESCO member states and UN agency. And this process resulted in the implementation plan version 2, the last version 2.0, now with the UNGA. This document is available on the IUC and Ocean Decade websites. So here we must to thank all the IUC and EPG teams and all the persons who contributed to this important implementation plan, which provide the strategic framework for the decade implementation. Concerning the IUC Decade for Africa, of course, it is based on orientation of UN Decade of Ocean Science for Sustainable Development. And of course, it based also on the Agenda 2063 for Africa we want, and also the Agenda of Decade of African Seas and Ocean for African Union. So as you know, there are many regional consultation meetings around the world, and mainly, for example, Africa in Kenya, Venice in Italia, Rio in Brazil, Halifax for the Atlantic, and Rio on November 2019, January in India, at Venice in January, in January 2020 also in Kenya. So for Kenya, we have two big meetings, the relevant meetings, the regional consultation on January, and the last meeting about the co-designing the ocean science we need for Africa. This meeting is solution-oriented research and identification of priority issues and the recommendation for elaboration of regional action plan. So I want here to focus on Atlantic side, mostly the southern part, because for Brazil, for example, on November 2019, so we have more 120 participants for 22 countries with lots of national and international institution, NGO, and so on. The same for Kenya, with more than 140 participants from 30 countries, also with institutional, national institution, international organization, and so on, NGOs. So the discussion is to discuss about the setting of regional vision for the decade, about innovative models to mobilize resources and create partnerships, the capacity development and transfer of marine technology, the communication of ocean literacy. So all the documents and the reports are also available on the Ocean and IUC website. So during this two, for example, regional meetings, So it focused on the decade outcomes, and each region has, of course, his own and specific characteristic and outcomes. Those outcomes describe the ocean we want at the end of the decade, and it's concerned the clean oceans, the healthy and resilient ocean, productive ocean, predicted ocean, safe ocean, accessible ocean, and inspiring and engaging ocean. So the reports are available on the website. And generally, there's different outcomes, but generally, general recommendation. And there's a little bit some common for the regions. So one recommendation is, of course, the decade should catalyze research in all the marine field that you see in the right of the screen, and to link the research result to societal application, to improve the quality and quantity of research output. And a lot of other recommendation concerns the ocean research in the regions, and that should be strengthened through stronger integration of sciences, greater investments in ocean observing system, and improving the science policy interface with new partnerships should be developed. And the establishment of university-based ocean innovation incubator hubs supported by the private sector, and to try to empower the whole pool of youthful population. Here we can focus on ocean literacy program, supporting skills development, and to try to create employment. So since 2020, sorry, 19 and 2021, the IUC work program focus on ocean observation and monitoring. So to reinforce ocean observation, ocean science and assessment concerning climate change adaptation in coastal zone. The program on hub survey assessment of marine pollution, the ocean data information management focus on regional ocean data portal, contributing to ODIS, regional coastal and marine atlases, the African Register of Marine Species. It concerns also the governance, science, policies, interface, awareness, focusing on marine spatial planning, ocean literacy, awareness activities, and regional policy briefs in relevant goals of Agenda 2063 and 2030. And of course, focused also on capacity development for marine science and technology, with the creation of regional centers, ODGA centers, UNESCO chairs and centers of excellence, collaboration between academic and research institutions, and comprehensive survey of capacity. Concerning this reinforcing the capacity development, so the activity implemented is to have continuous professional development for marine scientists from the region, including training course to strengthen development of regional training centers, to strengthen ocean science program in African universities, and so on, to mentorship programs targeting youth and female scientists. We have many also oceanographic surveys like South Atlantic ALGOAS 2 oceanographic surveys, UAF Nansen Cruise, and to take opportunity for IUC Decade Africa with Ocean Teacher, Global Academy, Goose Africa, the network of Odin Africa, to focus on African large marine ecosystem, African maritime spatial planning, to focus on coastal zone of vulnerability. Here, an example of Western Equatorial Africa, and to speak about the kickoff conference in Africa, the next kickoff conference that I speak about in the later slide in Egypt, and to take opportunity from this forum to have some discussion action with All Atlantic Project and Decade Initiative. So for a few words for the next steps for the decade. So in short term, so we have September to December negotiation with Omnibus resolution, including implementation plan. On October, this is information session to present implementation plan to UN member states. This October, there is a launch of first call for decade action for program and contribution, and the deadline here is the next month, 15 January 2021. This is a virtual high-level supporters events and pre-launch of Ocean Decade Alliance. The decade starts officially the 1st January 2021. During January, October 21, so there is a progressive establishment coordination structure. Between March, April, so this is decision about the call of decade actions of endorsed decade action program and contribution. On May, June, we have the first Ocean Decade Conference at Berlin. Of course, UN Conference Lisbon, the date is not yet now. And the most for Africa, we have the kickoff conference in Egypt of UN Decade of Ocean Science for Sustainable Development for Africa and Agency Island States. So in 21 or 22, depending on the pandemic. So last slide about the planning of the decades to have some measuring progress with adaptive progress, of course, concerning biennial action plan, resource need assessment, review, update decade action framework, global regional conference series, annual progress reports, stage of the decade reports, midterm review, and the final review during this decade. And all this information are available on the Ocean Decade website. So thank you very much for your attention. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Hilmi, for that lovely keynote address. And I think just there towards the end, the next steps and the key milestones, I think are indicative of the deliberate action to ensure that the Ocean Decade is a living entity, as Yona said yesterday, beyond policy announcement. And of course, to achieve that description of the ocean that is clean, that's healthy and resilient and productive and predicted and safe and accessible and inspiring and engaging. So with that, thank you very much, Dr. Hilmi, for that contribution. And I think the last thing there is that I found interesting was the desire to establish university-based ocean innovation incubator hubs that would be supported by the private sector. I think that's a new one that I haven't seen in these 2 days. And I think that's an incredible move to obviously achieve and contribute to skills development and job creation. Of course, the inclusion of the youth. I mean, I think that we are increasingly in the global community seeing how the economies, how advancing economies in the forefront involves young people who are doing incredible work around the world. And I think that it is important that we include young people when we are making decisions about the futures that we are building and making decisions for them. So it's important that we include the youth. It's important that we make them a part of decision-making processes and we make them part of policy establishment. Because if we leave the youth behind, we're leaving the future behind, and as a result, stagnating ourselves and our progress. And I think with that, I'm going to introduce this next segment, which is the introduction of the Atlantic Youth Ambassadors. And while we're at it, let's remember to on social media, keep the conversation alive. The hashtag is #AtlanticAll. And for this particular segment, when we're talking about the youth, let's use the hashtag Atlantic Youth as well. And with that, I think I want to introduce now Jan Stefan Fritz, who is the Managing Director of German Marine Research Consortium, and he has been active in the Atlantic Ocean Research Alliance since its founding. And I see Stefan's already touching his screen and doing things there. Over to you, Stefan. Thank you.
Doing things, can you hear me?
Perfectly.
Wonderful. Doing things just means last minute things. So this is learning by doing. Thank you to Lily for that wonderful introduction. And it was also interesting to hear that you're working on your PhD, because we should make you an honorary Atlantic Youth Ambassador. And hopefully we can keep you involved in this process. So one of the colleagues who's online here, and I'm really thrilled to see so many people that I know, and I'll come to that in a minute, but one of the colleagues just asked me if I was not a little bit too old to do this, but I feel like a PhD student every day I go to work. Having said that, this initiative really is about community building. It is about those PhD students. It is about the early career professionals in all fields. And it is a community, as you mentioned, Tulida, I've been part of this since not quite the beginning, but almost the beginning. And it has always been about building an inclusive and pan-Atlantic community. And that's absolutely fabulous. And that includes the Atlantic Ocean Youth Ambassador Program, and it includes the elders that John Bell mentioned, and everybody in between. So before I start, I will now share my screen, and then hopefully all goes well, because this is a last minute presentation, as I mentioned before, learning by doing. And let me thank, first off, my colleagues. I'm giving this presentation on behalf of a small group that has worked very, very hard in putting together this program in the last half a year. And to them, thank you very much. And this is a presentation that we worked on together. So let me now move to the first presentation. And we listened to a 9-minute video outlining some of the work of the ambassadors by Bianca Prohaska from the United States on behalf of the 2019 cohort.
So we're a team of 23 researchers and professionals from 14 countries, all connected to the Atlantic Ocean. And this initiative began with the summer school in Galway, Ireland in 2019, August 2019, where we ambassadors engaged and learned from political, social, economic, and scientific leaders to develop skills to become actors of change. The initiative was officially launched at the All-Atlantic Ocean Research Forum in Brussels this past February, with the main aim of the All-Atlantic Ocean Youth Ambassadors Initiative being to promote international ocean action and sharing knowledge, enhancing ocean literacy and the emotional connection to the ocean, as well as taking action for ocean protection. It's designed to empower youth to reach out by supporting campaigns with different target communities and experts. The program is developed under the framework of the Galway and Berlin statements, as well as the Argentinian Administrative Agreement and the Mandela Agreement. And the young people who comprise this diverse group are addressing the challenge of the disconnect between civil society and the protection of our ocean, which is also known as the emotional deficit. This detachment between Atlantic communities and the ocean is the first and key development point of the Galway Statement. And furthermore, collaboration and mutual benefit is mentioned throughout the Columbus Statement. It was agreed by the All-Atlantic Ocean Youth Ambassadors that at a critical point in time where the globe is facing a climate and biodiversity crisis, that we need to reignite the relationship between individuals and the ocean. In response to this, we have developed a novel approach to involve non-scientists and scientists alike in our campaign. And this involves 3 key components you can see here on the screen. The first being sharing, which is teaching the key principles of ocean literacy. The second being connecting, incorporating art, cultural practices, and storytelling. And the third is acting, directly addressing human impacts. So the 23 ambassadors, we all split into these 3 separate projects. But how do we remain so unified when geographically we're so far apart? The answer is stories. Every good project has a good story, but we're doing something new and exciting with global stories. We're collecting them from everyone we meet. We're asking people to take a selfie in blue, either with blue face paint, like this lovely woman on the slide, in a blue shirt, or even in front of the ocean if you're able, and to post it across all of your social media platforms with the hashtag #MyAtlanticStory. We then ask them to post their selfie along with something that connects them to the Atlantic Ocean. Sorry, that's my dog. You can hear some stuff in the background. We encourage you to take a moment to check out our social media pages after this presentation and see some of the Atlantic stories that we've collected thus far and contribute one of your own. So just a reminder of those 3 campaigns. I'll start with talking about our share piece. So our first group is termed Getting to Know Your Atlantic, and this is our ocean literacy campaign. So to improve ocean conservation, we first need to understand how we, as a community, impact the ocean and how the ocean impacts us. That is essentially ocean literacy and ocean engagement. Because of its importance, ocean literacy is one of the main resolutions in the Blum and Galway statements, as well as in the UN Decade of Ocean Science for Sustainable Development. And we, as youth ambassadors, are fully on board. Our aim is to disseminate knowledge, increase interaction with the ocean, and empower stakeholders. We started with the disseminate knowledge piece by going to many different outlets with one goal in mind: ocean communication. This included local media, where we could speak through newspapers, radio, television, about the ocean, the science, and the urgent need for conservation that's mandatory to save our planet. We also went to universities, scientific meetings, and even informal places where ordinary people are, like pubs and bars. And in addition, we've created tools and information like the infographics shown here on the slide that are helping all of the youth ambassadors across the ocean. We then wanted to increase people's interaction with the ocean, and we're doing this through organizing and participating in different events like beach cleanups in Cabo Verde, educational field trips to the shore in Iceland, ocean youth engagement in Spain, citizen science in Argentina, touch tanks in Ireland, museum days in the US, and even a virtual World Ocean Day this past June, and those are just to name a few. We've also been seeking to empower stakeholders and citizens, and this also aligns with the goals of the UN Decade of Ocean Science, which is creating an accessible and transparent ocean. We started by talking to fishing communities in Europe that depend on the ocean for their livelihood and survival. We need to learn from them the knowledge not yet known to the scientific community, and we need to share with them the scientific conservation goals that can help make their livelihoods more sustainable. We've also been discussing with Blue Industry the need for open access data, and so far we've received positive feedback. We hope these data will soon be stored in open data access repository for use by all. To date, we've participated in or organized 130 events, and today would be our 131st, and we've reached over 20,000 people. And yes, we've been slowed down by the pandemic, like most people have, but we haven't been stopped. We plan to continue our campaigns and also mentor the next group of ambassadors. So moving on to the next campaign, which was our Connect campaign. Looking at the Culture and Celebration Group. They basically represent the heart of the Atlantic. Our ocean is a hotspot of diverse cultures, traditions, and languages. And when in Galway for that summer school, we immediately recognized how diverse we are and noted our shared challenge. Our communities have lost their relationship with the ocean. So this campaign aims to create a wave of connection with the ocean and connections to one another. Studies by the International Union for Conservation of Nature have reported that cultural heritage is significantly linked to landscapes and waterscapes. Similar studies have also pointed out that by connecting with nature, individuals gain mental health and spiritual well-being benefits. The benefits of connecting with nature are documented. However, how can inshore and inland communities achieve it? We believe that shared multicultural experiences such as storytelling, recipes, music, art, carnival, theater, they'll all help improve participation and cooperation towards an ocean for all, as mentioned in the Galway and Bolton statements. For example, one cultural story shared with us by one of our own youth ambassadors bats and used to skin backwater. Her Go-Go, which is grandmother, often spoke about a mythical creature whose top half was human and bottom half was fish. Her name was Inkosasnane Yaso Lawande. This ocean goddess was all-powerful and extremely beautiful, with skin like chocolate and the voice of an angel. When one encountered her, she had the ability to magically transform into whatever your heart desired. For some, this would be money, precious jewels, or really anything she could use as a tactic to lure you into the ocean. One day, a fisherman captured her daughter in a fishing net, and she unleashed her wrath on the villagers by causing floods and storms. And according to the tale from the elders, the only protection from her was to wear a braided bracelet of plastic that was washed out of the ocean. Because of these engaging stories told by her grandmother, Sinagugu ended up being the first person in her village to graduate with a master's in ocean science, and she will be the youngest and first woman to obtain a PhD. Among other activities to reach our communities through unique cultural practices, we plan to collect legends that are meaningful to the Atlantic community. This anthology of stories will be documented in podcasts, videos, and a book. We believe this will engage people from children to seniors, creating an intergenerational impact. But I'll introduce myself.
Oops. So I didn't mention before that presentation was given at this year's prestigious Paris Peace Forum by Bianca Prohaska from the United States. And if she's here, wonderful presentation, very good, very enthusiastic. When the co-chairs of the Galway Statement and the co-chairs of the Belém Statement agreed to create an All-Atlantic Ocean Youth Ambassador Initiative, which was then launched in early 2020, they probably had no idea what was going to happen. And the fact that this, and the keynote speakers yesterday all mentioned it, has become one of the flagship initiatives of this Atlantic Ocean Research Alliance. And we're certainly very, very ambitious about that and proud of that. And the level of ambition was also shown in Bianca's presentation. And when, reaching from ocean literacy to open data issues, this youth group not only reflects a whole number of countries, and to them, thank you very much to the host institutions for all of their efforts in kickstarting this initiative, but they were extremely ambitious in their achievements. Bianca mentioned this. In 1 year, they participated actively, so actively contributed to over 130 events, and through those reached 20,000 people. These were ideas and initiatives that were in large part launched by the individuals themselves. And to that, really, my hat off, it's fantastic work that was done. So to the group as a whole, to that first cohort of Atlantic Ocean Youth Ambassadors, thank you very much. And thank you very much, not just for your enthusiasm and everything else, but for learning by doing. You were not given many tools along the way early on. This was learning by doing for all of us, but you made an incredible year of it. And because of that, we're going to continue. And continuing also includes 10 of you. 10 of the group of 23 have kindly offered to be mentors to the next group and will continue to participate. And this is also not to be underestimated because these are people that are in a stage in their lives when things change a lot. Our own German youth ambassador has since moved to Australia. Natalie, if you're online, hello. But she continues and will continue to participate as a mentor, as these other 9 as well will also. So we're thrilled and thankful. To the new group, welcome. I won't go into details of this group. I'll let them introduce themselves in a minute. Suffice it to say, we now have 24 and counting. The video that I'm going to show, you'll see right at the end, is not quite complete. The last videos, they came in just this morning, and thank you very much to to Joanne Sweeney for having put this all together so quickly. And I'd like to make special mention to Morocco that for the first time now with two youth ambassadors are also on board. So let me again play this time shorter video of 2 to 3 minutes.
Hello, my name is Tano Mazomba and I'm an All-Atlantic Ocean Youth Ambassador representing South Africa. My vision for the ocean is to shine a light on the intersectionality that exists within the marine conservation space.
Hi, my name is Marissa Frank. I'm an All-Atlantic Youth Ambassador representing South Africa. My vision for the ocean is to develop and implement sustainable practices to preserve our natural resources.
Hello, my name is Raquel Gallon. I'm an All-Atlantic Youth Ambassador representing Portugal, and my vision for the ocean is an ocean that is recognized and respected as a strong ally to combat climate and biodiversity crisis.
My name is Ajmal Sarkab, and I'm an All-Atlantic Youth Ambassador representing Morocco. My vision for the ocean is making it clean and resourceful for the generations to come. Until we meet again, stay safe.
Hello, my name is Hajar Bouzaidi. I am an All-Atlantic Youth Ambassador representing Tetouan Morocco. My vision for the ocean is a permanent world with a condition of preservation and sustainable development.
Hi, my name is Gary Kett, and I'm representing Ireland as an All-Atlantic Ocean Youth Ambassador. My vision is to help connect people to the sea, to help them value, understand, and protect it.
Hello, my name is Julia Vizcaya. I am an All-Atlantic Youth Ambassador representing Florianópolis, Brazil. And my vision for the ocean is its appreciation, care, and prosperity.
Communicating the ocean for me is the toughest task we have when it concerns ocean conservation, simply because people cannot actually see what's below the waterline, so they can't care. That's a very old common saying. If we can see it, we can care about it. So yeah, that's when audiovisual comes into play.
Hi, I'm Ellie Savino, the All-Atlantic Ocean Youth Ambassador for Belgium. My vision for the ocean is a community where scientists and the public can work together to promote ocean sustainability.
Hello everyone, my name is Jorge Moreno and I'm the All-Atlantic Ambassador for Spain. My vision for the ocean is to conserve and to protect what connects us all.
Hi everyone, my name is Jan and I'm representing Germany as a Youth Ambassador. My vision for the ocean is to bring marine science to everyone, because in the end, we all depend on the ocean.
Hi everyone, I'm Eline Dugénie. I'm an All-Atlantic Youth Ambassador representing France. I'm really happy to be part of this program because I consider really important to raise the awareness of ocean challenges.
Hello, my name is Teresa Key, and I'm an All-Atlantic Youth Ambassador representing the United States. My vision for the ocean is an ocean that's healthy and safe for everyone who depends on it.
Hello, my name is Marina Kukuza. I'm an All-Atlantic Youth Ambassador representing the United States. And my vision for the ocean is climate resilient ecosystems and communities and protected marine resources. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Raqueline Monteiro. I'm an All-Atlantic Youth Ambassador representing the Amazon Brazil. My vision for the ocean is the reconnection with our aquatic memories.
Hello, my name is Harriet Dundon and I'm an All-Atlantic Ocean Youth Ambassador for Ireland. My vision for the ocean is to increase ocean literacy in communities, initiate individual action on climate change, and increase understanding around sustainable living.
My name is Miriam Lima. I'm the Youth Ambassador of Cabo Verde. My vision for the ocean is a healthy, clean, and sustainable ocean for all.
Hi, my name is Jillian Rani, and I'm an All-Atlantic Ocean Youth Ambassador representing Canada. My vision for our oceans is to have healthy oceans that our future generations are able to enjoy.
Hello everyone, my name is Daniela Rizaro. I'm an All-Atlantic Youth Ambassador representing Argentina. I believe that the oceans and the climate system has been facing abrupt changes during the last few decades. We need to stay together and to be creative to find new solutions for this problem.
I'm Julie Reimer, and I'm representing Canada as an All-Atlantic Youth Ambassador. My vision for the ocean is a place where plans, management, and communities come together to fully realize a healthy ecosystem.
Hello, my name is Kelsey Archer Barnhill. I am an All-Atlantic Ocean Youth Ambassador representing the United Kingdom. My vision for the ocean is to increase exploration and awareness of deep sea ecosystems.
Gomes, the Youth Ambassador representing Cabo Verde. My vision is to have an ocean capable of producing food in a sustainable way, an ocean cared and shared by all the policymakers, civil society, and of course the youth.
So, Michaela, if you're online, we're still waiting for your video and we're looking forward to receiving it. And as soon as we do, we'll include it. I think that was a fabulous video, and I love the statements. And to all the ambassadors that are online here, welcome again, and we will definitely hold you to your vision, because the visions are not meant to be just words. They're supposed to be a starting point, and then we think about, well, what does that look like in practice? And that's what we hope the next 12, 24 months will look like. Whoops, exactly. So for the next year, pandemic pending, and so we're going to have to take this step by step. But I'd just like to share with you some of the ideas that are coming up in terms of how we're going to work with you to build a team, to, on the other hand, allow you to take those visions and to start putting them into practice, but also being part of this alliance that's continually growing. So early in the year, that means actually already in December, we're going to invite you to an informal virtual get-together. The idea is to really get to know each other, to start sharing ideas, introductions, and plans, and to work with the mentors, and to start coming up with a plan for the coming year. The first formal get-together will be in February, and that will also be virtual by necessity, unfortunately. But nonetheless, we'll make the best of it. And I have to say, the enthusiasm of the way this forum, for example, has been put on and has been moderated shows that it can be done, and I find that truly inspiring. So I'm hopeful also for the early half of 2021. We will then come together in February for a more formal meeting where many of the activities of the Alliance will be presented to you. You'll get into discussions with, for example, the coordinators of joint actions, which were just approved this week and will be presented to you later today, and briefly to this forum. And you will have a chance to discuss with the coordinators in quite some detail about their plans and your ideas, and about the involvement that you could have during the year. The UN Ocean Decade is also kicking off this year, and it is a decade of ocean science for sustainable development. So again, the idea of vision to practice will be a very important element in this, what's been called by many the Ocean Super Year. And the kickoff conference for the UN Ocean Decade is planned for Berlin. And we, in my organization, together with partners, are working on realizing, and I hope COVID pending, that we can put together at the very least a virtual early career ocean professional days, which ideally would be 24 hours following the sunrise around the world over the ocean. And we want to start the decade specifically also with young people in the early stages of their careers that will be putting their careers into practice in the next 10 years. So that's planned for the end of May, beginning of June. And then the highlight of this year in terms of planning so far is a summer school on the Azores, which COVID pending should be absolutely spectacular, which will be timed in accordance with an Atlantic ministerial meeting hosted by the Portuguese EU presidency. And the details of that will be presented to you later and will be discussed with you. So final slide, I'd like to introduce the colleagues with whom this presentation was prepared and who will be your contacts. So Isabel, who couldn't be here today because she is one of the very, very lucky few to have started a research cruise as part of the JPI Oceans initiative. They have a project on plastics in the ocean. It set sail today from Germany for the Azores and back again for a whole month over the holidays to better understand plastics in the open ocean in the Atlantic. Laura McDonough, who's online here, hi, and Lavinia, and myself. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Stefan, for that. I think that was so exciting. I mean, I'm sitting here and I'm watching that video and I have a smile throughout, from the Molweni, from South Africa all the way to the end. And I think that
Judging from the messages coming in from the chats, everybody is really excited, and all of the youth ambassadors that are here, that are online, I hope you can see in the chat all of the beautiful messages. I know that the panelists are sending a lot of messages talking about how they can't wait to meet you guys. And I think panelists, please, for just this particular purpose, can you please just make sure that you're sending to everyone and not just to panelists, so that these youth ambassadors can actually see how excited you guys are to have them on board. And congratulations to all of them, and welcome to the youth ambassadorship. Stefan, if I agreed to be an honorary ambassador, the DG, Dr. Mjwaha, I think would not be very happy with me, because he really wants me to finish my PhD now. But I think that would be such an incredible opportunity. Really, in that video, what you were talking about at the beginning about creating an inclusive and Pan-African community was evident in that video. And I think congratulations to the All Atlantic Ocean Research Forum for that, because it really shows and it really does come across from the diversity and the level of inclusion in these youth ambassadors. And I think the essence of it to reignite the relationship between the people and the ocean, I think based on the conversations that we're having yesterday and talking about how do we include the community, and I think this is a perfect way to reach the communities. And I think from the presentation that Bianca, I think was giving, it becomes really evident that they really are touching a lot of people. I mean, 130 events and 20,000 plus people, that's real impact. That's real impact. And I think it's incredible. Yeah, I think it's incredible. But also, I really am impressed by the strategy that the young ambassadors are using in telling stories. I think the creative arts is a brilliant way to connect people and to share knowledge and just to create excitement as well. And I think from the video, I think everybody that's on the call and everybody watching on Facebook and watching on YouTube, please do take that picture wearing something blue or with something blue and do hashtag #MyAtlanticStory, so that we can make this campaign that the Youth Ambassadors program have initiated really grow in leaps and bounds, and invites other people as well to participate. And that hashtag is #MyAtlanticStory. And I think to end this one off, I think I want to say that the ocean goddess and that story of the ocean goddess is really, really moving. Inkosazane yasolwandle in isiZulu or isiXhosa, which are the native languages in South Africa. And I thought that was really beautiful and really does capture the essence of the ocean and the importance of the ocean and the connection that we have as a people and have always had as a people to the ocean. Any final words from you, Stefan, before I let you go?
No, I think you've said it eloquently and enthusiastically, and just, well, maybe one comment. I think I agree with you in terms of smiling through the videos. I think the enthusiasm, the content, the thoughtfulness is incredible, and it is exactly that. And with it, specifically on the visions now, when we look at the collaborative projects in the Atlantic, and if we look at the joint actions under the Alliance, I think that they'll really profit from this sort of enthusiasm and the ideas. And if we can merge that'll be fabulous. So thank you very much, and looking forward to working with all of you and with the entire Alliance. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Stefan. I think we can all agree that's really ignited energy to our conversations today.